When you think about our modern lifestyles, the food we eat, the stress we're under, how little we sometimes move, it's a scary thought. But one of the sources for today's explainer puts it pretty bluntly. A lot of us are like taking time bombs. But hey, we're not here to scare you. We're here to diffuse that anxiety with knowledge. We're going to pull back the curtain on heart attacks, figure out what's really going on, and most importantly, talk about the powerful ways you can take back control.
So here's our game plan for today. First, we'll get right to the heart of the problem. Then, we'll get into decoding your body's own warning signs and figuring out your personal risk. And from there, we're going to flip the script and focus completely on the solutions, how you can build a stronger heart and the specific tools you can start using, like today.
All right, let's dive right in. Before you can fight something, you gotta understand it. So what is actually happening inside your chest during a heart attack? Okay, the fancy medical term is myocardial infarction, but what that really means is tragically simple. Your heart is a muscle, and just like any muscle, it needs blood packed with oxygen to work. When the arteries that deliver that blood get blocked, a part of the heart muscle gets starved and it starts to die. That right there is a heart attack.
But here's the thing. A heart attack usually feels sudden. But the cause, well, that's been building up for years. It's a process called atherosclerosis. Think of your arteries like clean pipes. Over time, this waxy stuff called plaque can build up on the inside, kind of like gunk in a drain. Eventually, that buildup can either choke off the blood flow, or a piece can break off, form a clot, and slam the doors shut. That's the blockage that triggers the heart attack itself.
So the big question is, how would you even know if this is happening? Well, the good news is your body usually tries to send out warning signals. It's like an early warning system, and we're going to learn how to read those signals right now.
We all know the classic Hollywood heart attack, right? The person clutching their chest. But in reality, it can be so much different. Yeah, it could be that pressure in your chest, but it could also be discomfort in your arm, your back, or even your jaw. It might feel like really bad heartburn, you could get nauseous, break out in a cold sweat, or feel suddenly weak and super anxious. And this is so important to know. Women often experience different signs, sometimes more subtle things like just extreme fatigue or trouble sleeping. It's not always that obvious chest pain. Okay, this is a big one. You feel a pain in your chest and your mind just goes there, right? But it's crucial to know the difference between heart-related pain and something else. True cardiac pain is usually this dull, squeezing pressure. It might get worse when you exert yourself. Other kinds of chest pain are often sharper, more specific to one spot, and might even feel better if you move or stretch. Knowing the difference can be, well, a lifesaver.
If you even suspect a heart attack is happening, either to you or someone near you, listen up, because every single second counts. First thing you do, call for help. Immediately. No wait and see. Then get into this W position. Sit down, lean your back against something, and bend your knees. Loosen up any tight clothes. And whatever you do, don't walk around, just rest. And if you've been prescribed something like aspirin or nitroglycerin for this situation, now's the time to take it. These simple steps can make all the difference.
Okay, we've talked about the emergency stuff, but now we're shifting gears. Let's move from defense to offense. How do we get ahead of this and understand your own personal risk so we can stop it from happening in the first place? Look, we all get dealt a certain hand in life, right? Your age, your genetics, your family history, those are the uncontrollable things. But that is not the whole story, not even close. Just look at that other list. The controllable factors, your diet, smoking, cholesterol, how much you move. This is where you have the power. This is where you get to rewrite the script. And if you need proof of just how much power you have, look at this. If you smoke, your risk for heart disease goes up by at least 4 times. That's not a small number. That is a massive, massive difference, and it's tied to a single choice. It just shows how much your daily habits truly matter. Okay, so the stakes are high, we get it. The risks are absolutely serious. So the real question becomes, what are you going to do about it? How do you actually fight back? And that brings us to the best part of this whole explainer, your action plan. This is all about what you can do, starting now, to build a heart that isn't just surviving, but actually thriving. I absolutely love this analogy from our source. Think about it. Your body is the only vehicle you get for this journey called life.
You wouldn't pour cheap, dirty fuel into your car and expect it to run well, would you? Of course not. So why would we do that to our bodies? It's the only one we get. It all starts with respecting it enough to give it the good stuff.
So, what does that good stuff actually look like? Well, it really boils down to 4 main pillars. First, your diet, focusing on whole foods, not processed junk. Second, smart exercise, not just slogging on a treadmill, but mixing in high-intensity work. Third, and this is huge, actively managing your stress. And fourth, being aware of your environment, the very air you breathe and water you drink.
Okay, so eat better and exercise more is great advice, but let's get specific. What should you actually put in your toolkit? Let's build it. We hear the word organic all the time, but this chart makes it really clear what we're talking about. Look at the difference. It's about choosing food that isn't routinely exposed to antibiotics and growth hormones. It's about getting more nutrients and fewer chemicals. It's not just a fancy label, it's a fundamentally different approach to what you're putting in your body.
And if you want to stock that toolkit with some real powerhouses, here are 10 superfoods highlighted by our source. Think of these as your heart's personal cleanup crew. You've got things like avocado with its healthy fats, turmeric and cinnamon to fight inflammation, and others like pomegranate and green tea that are packed with antioxidants. Adding these to your diet is like assembling a team of superheroes for your arteries.
And remember pillar number 3, stress? Well, it's not all just about food. Check out this number. Some studies have linked regular meditation to an approximate 50% reduction in risk for heart attack or stroke. 50%! That's not from a pill, that's from the power of your own mind to calm your body's stress response. It's incredible.
So at the end of the day, it all comes back to this one simple truth. Your health starts with your heart. It's the engine that drives everything else. And the choices you make today, the small things, the consistent things, they aren't just for today. They are literally what will define your health and your vitality tomorrow.
So we've looked at the problem, we've decoded the signs, we've understood the risks, and we've seen the amazing power you have to change your story. This isn't about flipping a switch overnight. Heart health is a journey. So the only question left, the one that really matters, is for you. Where will you begin?